Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur ma chaîne Learnetude. Je m'appelle Sonal Devgan et je suis votre professeur de français. Allons-y, so let's begin our lesson today. So today's lesson is on grammar section and it's on the topic Conjugaison de Verbes. That is, we have to conjugate the verbs. So this question came previously in the year 2025 CBSE 10th board exams, and this question carries 1 mark. So shall we read together this question? So first task is to understand the meaning of the question. What does conjuguer les verbes means? Conjuguer les verbes means we have to conjugate the verbs which are given between the parentheses or the brackets. So here, between the bracket, the verb is given déjà neigé. So next we have to look at the sentence and understand its meaning before figuring out which conjugation of the verb given here, that is neigé, would be appropriate or suitable in our sentence, and that would make the whole sentence meaningful. So let's read it together in French. Ayez les jeunes de mon bâtiment blanc quand leurs parents les ont appelés. Déjà neigé, right? So hier, H-I-E-R, this word hier means yesterday, or sometimes it also means last night. And this is it verb, right? Next we have les, les, which means the, and in the grammar we call them as l'article défini, or simply in English, the definite article the. On my channel, there is a video on gender nouns. So in brief, I must tell you that in French, every noun has a gender, unlike English, where there are neutral nouns. In French, every noun is either masculine or feminine. That is, it is masculine or of feminine gender, right? So, l'article défini is of 3 types: le, la, les. Le is for masculine, la is for feminine, and les is for masculine or feminine plural, right? Here, this is written before this word jeune. So jeune means, jeune is a noun and it has s, so this is a plural noun or pluriel, and this means young, or it can also mean young children or people, whatever you can call it as. So the articles agree with the gender of the noun when they are placed before it. Les, which means the, is placed before jeune, which is a noun. Whatever the gender will be of jeune, that article will change itself according to it. So according to the gender of the noun, the article will be modified. So here jeune is carrying an s at the end. That means it's of plural nature. So the l'article défini is chosen as les, which represents masculine or feminine pluriel, right? After les jeunes, we have de, which means from, and in French we pronounce it as the, and the is a preposition. And after the, we have mon, which is adjective possessive or in English we call them as adjective possessives or possessive determiners, and it means my in English. So again, according to the gender, my exists in three forms in French: mon, ma, and mes. So mon is for masculin, ma for feminine, and mes masculin or feminine plural, right? And it is placed before another noun in the sentence, which is bâtiment. So bâtiment means building, and it is a noun, and since it is masculine in gender, so the my has taken the mon or more form, right? And after that we have a blank or simply blanc, and then we have quand, which means when, and after that we have l'heure, which means there, which is again adjective possessive, and then after that parent, which is very simple to guess in English. Parent is parents, that is mother and father. And after that we have les, which I will take later on. This is a very mysterious word here, and let me tell you in advance, this does not mean l'article défini, and that is, this does not mean the at all. It has the same spelling as les, that is l'article défini, but it is not l'article défini here, right? So let's jump on to next, because after that only we'll discuss this mysterious word, right? So then we have en tapelé. When we pronounce it together, then this is liaison. There is a liaison, that is linking in pronunciation, but if I'm pronouncing it individually or alone, then it's en tapelé. So en tapelé means called in English. Which word is en tapelé here? So en tapelé is representing the word, or in the infinitive form, this is the word appeler, which means to call. And since it is an er ending verb, that's why in the passé composé form it is having the past participle as appeler. So what's the rule of er ending verbs? We remove the er and we add an accent aigu, that is e with an accent mark, which produces the sound as a. So it becomes appeler, right? So this en tapelé is the passé composé conjugaison of the verb appeler, which means to call, right? Now some of you will be confused here. So let's in depth take a look at this verb in the conjugated form en tapelé. We must see that what does ont means. So some of you might not be knowing. So ont is the avoir verb, which is acting as an auxiliary verb here. That means auxiliary verbs are the helping verbs, right? And it is in the present form. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, or elles ont, right? So ont, we now know that it is indicating the pronoun il or elle in the plural forms. So which nouns are there in the sentence which are of plural nature, which are in plural form? So passé composé is formed with the help of an auxiliary verb, which can be avoir or in some cases être, plus the participe passé or the past participle of the given verb. So here we chose avoir in the present form, and since it is a regular er ending verb, so that's why avoir is used. And then the participe passé of appeler, so we remove the er and then we add accent aigu, that is e with an accent to produce the sound as a, right? Now some of you will ask that why there is an s here. In the normal or standard French, when we use the verb avoir, which means to have, in a past tense as an auxiliary verb, then we normally never change the ending of the past participle or participe passé. Normally we do not add any s. So let's talk about the exception. If there is a direct object before the verb, you must make the verb agree with it. What does that mean? And what is a direct object? Well, so in English you must have heard the verb subject and object. In French we call them as sujet and objet. So subject is the action doer who performs the action, right? And object is the receiver of the action. Direct object, which receives the action directly without any preposition. Prepositions can be to, for, with, etc. For example, I love ice cream. So the ice cream is the direct object here, who is receiving the action, that is love, directly, and there is no preposition in between the verb and the object, right? So coming back to our question, the direct object here is les, which is representing les jeunes. So this, the young, so this means them, right? So this is direct object. So that's why there is an s added to the en t'appelait in the passé composé form, right? So let's complete the translation here. So yesterday, the young, or you can also add children here, the young children from my building dash when their parents called them, right? So that is the meaning of this incomplete sentence. And now our next task is to find out which conjugaison of the verb given in the bracket, that is déjà, neigé, will be appropriate to complete this sentence, right? So what does déjà means? Déjà means already, and in English you must have heard a very common word, déjà vu. which means already seen or something which you have already experienced. And then we have nager. So nager means to swim. If you look at the meaning of the sentence, yesterday the young children from my building dash when their parents called them. And the verb is to swim. So their parents called them, that action is happening in the past. So that would mean the swimming also happened in the past, right? So we have to look at the tense in the past, right? And there are many types of past tenses in English as well as in French. So which one will be appropriate? En t'appelé is passé composé. That is simple past. Now which form will nager take? So there are two answers and both are correct, means you will get full 1 mark. So what are these two conjugations of nager that are suitable here? In case 1, our action or verb swimming is in progress, means the children, they have not completed their swimming, they are still in the pool, and that's when their parents are calling them that it's enough, let's go home, come out of the pool, right? So the action is still in progress, and that too in the past. And in the second case, case 2, the swimming, that is our action, has already finished, and that too in the past. So what tenses are we talking about in both the cases, case 1 and case 2? So two correct answers are nager déjà, which is imparfait, and avait déjà nagé, which is plus-que-parfait. So nager is an er ending verb, and plus-que-parfait means past before the past. And what's the rule in French? There is an auxiliary verb in imparfait form, and it's usually avoir or être, and then there we add participe passé or the past participle. Do not confuse it with passé composé, because in passé composé the auxiliary verb avoir or être is in the present form. So let's first understand what's imparfait. So imparfait is the imperfect tense, which is used to describe the ongoing action. What's the conjugaison in French? So since nager is an er ending verb, so we drop the ending er. We write the stem word neg, but here is a twist or exception. In this specific word nager, which means to swim, in order to maintain the soft sound of the G, we retain the E in the stem. So our stem now becomes N-A-G-E or N-A-G-E, right? So let's write pronouns or pronom. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Right? So je nage, we have written the stem, and then we will add AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. This you have to memorize very well. Je nage, tu nage, il, elle, neiger. Nous neigions, vous neigiez. Il, elle neigeait. Right? Note that in nous and vous, no e in still. So this is the imparfait of the regular er ending verb, but what about avoir and être? So imparfait conjugaison, you have to memorize very well of avoir and être because they both are irregular verbs and their conjugaison is very difficult for the French learners, right? So because this is an er ending verb, regular verb, therefore this will take the avoir, and avoir has the conjugaison avant, and which takes the pronoun il and elle, right? So avait plus the participe passé of neiger, that is with an accent aigu. So this is the answer. And what about déjà? So in imparfait, déjà is written after the verb neiger, and in plus-que-parfait, which means the past perfect, the déjà is placed in between the auxiliary verb avait and neiger, right? So what does neiger, déjà and avait déjà neiger means? So neiger déjà means were already swimming, and in plus-que-parfait or past perfect, avait déjà neiger means, would mean had already swum. So let's complete the sentence with both of the answers, and you have to write any one. So first complete sentence is, yesterday the young children from my building were already swimming when their parents called them. And the second answer can be, yesterday the young children from my building had already swum when their parents called them. So I hope this lesson was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.